What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Litentry. This is one I don't like, but there are gains to be had for sure. This is to do with effectively digital identity. Being able to get onto every blockchain, every DApp, every Web3 with effectively one login. It's a narrative that's being heavily pushed, and I genuinely can see over the course of the next few years this is going to be one of the biggest narratives that's pushed. I hate the idea of digital ID. It's another way in which I think we'll end up with government requirements, which is why I don't like it. But there's probably going to be money here. Also, there's been some news come out about crypto stable coins that we have to discuss. Because it's the Stability Financial Board have made some comments about them. So yeah, if you're a stable coin holder, you're going to want to pay attention to this too. Before I get into it though, guys, if you are new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on this channel. They're also the first 26 coins I owned when I made this channel. Had you put in just $100 into each of these coins when I released the videos about them, and then you did everything wrong as an investor, you ignored them, you ignored a bull cycle, you rode them into a bear cycle and a recession, if you sold them all today, you would still be able to bank 16 grand in profit, and that is from doing everything wrong. So 16 grand profit from a $2,600 investment. But if you sold these coins in 2021 when the markets were red hot, like I did, just $100 into each of those coins, and selling at the top in 2021 could have netted you a profit of 123 grand. Staggering difference between doing what's right and what's wrong. Now, as I said, I sold all these off. They're not what I own. But if you want to see what coins I own that are in my portfolio, you can do. You just have to go to copymycrypto.com. On the site, I share my portfolio. I give the members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell any coin. We release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. We have had pinpoint accuracy on them for months and months and months now, predicting the exact move of Bitcoin some days, or within 0.1%. We have tutorials set up on the site as well. These are for crypto beginners. These guide you on your sort of beginning journey of crypto. And guys, we have a history of success on the site and the channel. We have called big winners on both. Phantom leads the way in that. In 2020, there was not a single crypto YouTuber talking about Phantom other than myself. And I said, I'd created a course saying this is going to be the best crypto investment of 2020. It would 100x or more. It ended up being 677x. So if you'd have put in 2 grand, you could have netted 1.3 million. I will find another Phantom. And when I do, I'm not going to create a course like last time. I'm simply going to go onto my site, tell the members about the coin, tell them the gains I think it can have and the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy along, they can. If it interests you taking the sort of 10,000 hours of research out of your crypto, go read the site now and maybe I'll see you there. So, Litentry. Litentry currently priced at $1.48. It's got huge trading volume. That's only up 27% as well. So, massive trading volume considering its current market cap. Litentry, if you're unfamiliar, is one of the parachains of the lovely Polkadot. So it's about decentralized identity authentication and user activity data management infrastructure. The whole premise is that Litentry is helping to support this change that is in favor of a user-centric network with the blockchain. So Litentry includes an identity-based network and related tools, features an identity matching and identity staking mechanism. As a whole, it consists of decentralized identity and user activity data management infrastructure. And when you check out what they've actually got, the whole premise is make your digital identity tangible without being seen. So the Litentry Identity Hub allows you to aggregate your personal data from blockchains platforms to manage granular access to all dApps. So it's quite a nice concept in that, effectively they're looking at a single login infrastructure for everything. So you can use multi-chain data from Web3 and Web2 platforms, and we help you collect the complete picture of your fragmented identity. You get the maximum privacy and authorization control. So they're their incorruptible hardware infrastructure allows you to stay anonymous when you need to and reveal yourself when you don't. And you can share interoperable, verifiable credentials. So you can take back what's yours with tamper-proof digital data containers. Look, this is as a concept, right? And I understand fundamentally this would actually be quite a solid solution if you've got one login for everything. And it's something that, you know, I think a lot of people would want to utilize. The downside, obviously, is if anyone gets access, they've got access to everything. That would be problematic. You know, if anyone's ever experienced like a hack or anything, like, you know, if every single thing that you log on to consistently is hacked, that would be hugely difficult. The interesting thing is the privacy element within this as well. You can store your sensitive relationships within a privacy preserving trusted execution environment, and privacy is fundamentally something that is on the out, and it has been on the out for the past several decades. Governments want to know more and more and more. We all remember the Snowden revelations, and whether or not you will be able to utilize this to remain private is an interesting matter, because fundamentally the inevitable thing that I can see is you need your digital identity to log on to anything, to create an account with anyone. That's the narrative I don't like, and that's the shift I can see happening, where you cannot have anything anonymous online. That does feel like the shift that we're working towards, which is why I'm really against this as a premise, because I don't like the idea of having to always KYC on everything. And I think that's where we're going, which is why Litentry should be very successful, but by the same token, why I don't like it. And look, you know, Litentry is heavily backed. It's won Web3 grants multiple times as well, you know, for obvious reasons. Like, this is the narrative that we're working towards. This is where we're heading. And the protocol, you can get early access to the protocol now. You know, if you click, you can see. So you put in your name, tells your first name or pseudonym, tell us a bit about yourself, and then you can start actually getting used to, or requesting early access anyway. As a concept, I hate it. I really hate it. But I think success is inevitable here. The question really is how high can it go? Now, fundamentally, it hasn't actually dropped enormously when, you know, compared to some of the cryptos out there. It's not had a huge decline in terms of price compared to its high. Most of the volume knocked around $8, which is what I would be looking at as the first initial target point. You know, that first sort of, what was it, like 6 months or so that it was out, most of the volume was around $8. Then obviously we started having the crashes. It re-rallied in the sort of back end of 2021. Hit heights of about a little over $6, which is, you know, so it's at a quarter of that right now. I think $8 is definitely the target point. But what I'd be very interested to see is, look, it's not actually that much higher to get to its previous all-time high. If it does break through its previous all-time high, then it's in price discovery mode. And then you don't really know how high it can go. How big a solution is this going to be? How heavily utilized is this going to be? It could be massive. It could be absolutely massive. You know, if this is going to be an integral part of Web 2 to Web 3 of utilizing any dApps, of course this can break new all-time highs. This could feasibly be $1 billion market cap, which would put it at around $25. I would conservatively say still $8 because that's where the mass of the volume was in its most heavily traded time. But I'd be looking at the moment that breaks previous all-time high, price discovery mode, that's going to kick on hard if it does do that. And I think we can all see that there's going to be an inevitable shift over the course of time towards you have to KYC on everything. You're not allowed to be anonymous on the internet unless we push heavily into decentralized web. And if we have a decentralized web, Litentry might be a valid solution. But my overarching fear of it all is that this is then going to be, this kind of digital identity solution is going to be a requirement for the majority of sites. I think that will be the shift that we see over the course of the next few years, and that for me is a real big negative, because that's not what the internet was meant to be about. But if that is the shift, then Litentry probably would break all-time highs. But yeah, just my perspective. I'm not a fan, but I can see there feasibly being a lot of money here. But what do you guys think? Does anyone share my sort of fears about like having to KYC on everything, or having the government requiring a sort of identity solution on everything? Is anyone else worried about that? Maybe it's just me. But let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. These videos will make you money and they'll save you money. You don't want to miss them. And guess what, guys? Karma's a real thing. So if you do something nice, like hit the subscribe button, your karma points will go up. Trust me. And before I get into the news, guys, if you want to see the coins that I own, my current portfolio, just go to copymycrypto.com. On the site, I share my portfolio. I give the members real-time updates anytime I make any change to my portfolio, whether I'm adding or taking any coins out. We release videos every day talking about the markets. The accuracy we've had over the last few months has been staggering. The tutorials are perfect for beginners. If you are a crypto beginner, that's where you can get started. They're the same ones I send friends and family. But fundamentally, guys, no one in 2020 called Phantom. We have a massive history of success on this site. I highly recommend you go through your favorite crypto YouTubers, search Phantom. See if they did a video in 2020 or 2019. No one will have. Let alone what I did, which was say it was going to 100x or more. When I find the next Phantom, I'm not going to create a course like last time. I'm going to go onto my site. I'm going to tell my members about a coin, the gains it can have, and the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy, they can. If that sounds good to you, taking out those 10,000 hours of research, go read the site now, and remember that everything that you read there, you can verify on the YouTube channel's history. And last thing, guys. So the Financial Stability Board. So they have said many existing stablecoins would not meet the high-level recommendations soon to be set by global standard setters like the Financial Stability Board. The FSB's upcoming guidance targets the strengthening of stablecoin governance frameworks, redemption rights, and stabilization mechanisms, which was said in a letter to G20 finance ministers and central bank governors. According to its work plan for 2023, the FSB is set to finalize its recommendations for regulating crypto and stablecoins by July. Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies pegged to the value of the assets of other assets like the US dollar or the euro. I mean, this is interesting. And, you know, what are we going to see here? FSB warned in February of last year that crypto risks to financial stability could rapidly escalate. Regulators around the world, including the FSB, have been increasing efforts to oversee the sector following last year's many company collapses like Terra, like FTX, like BlockFi, like Voyager, like Celsius. You know, it was a mess last year, wasn't it? And the FSB has said that it will work with other standard-setting bodies to determine how decentralized finance should be regulated. We knew it was coming. We know it's going to be knocking around. We knew it was inevitable. Let's see what happens. But it's something to be aware of. If you've got a ton of holdings in stablecoins, just be aware of this. Keep your eye on the ball, because if all of a sudden, you know, global banks, central banks across the world start saying that these are not real, and you cannot have a stable coin because it's not backed by the central bank within the respective countries, there's going to be problems. So just bear that in mind, because obviously, if that came out by huge central banks around, say your Fed came out, or say, the Bank of England came out and said that was the case, you probably see stable coins depeg. You would also probably end up seeing a fairly significant market drop. So all things to pay attention to. But, we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Hope you're having a good day. Take it easy.